Walk your hands back by the sides of your left foot. Fold your face in towards your shin. Stretch your right leg higher. Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana. And walk your hands forward. Either come straight through Vinyasa or a couple hops up toward handstand on your way back through Vinyasa. Again, is an if and only if that sounds like fun. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. You can either come straight to down dog or through Vinyasa. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Take another breath here. And on your exhale, walk your hands back to your feet. Come into a standing forward bend at the back of your mat. Heel toe your feet all the way together until they're touching. Bend your knees, lower your hips back down to your heels. You can allow your heels to lift as much as needed to get your hips down. And then find your knees apart. Bring your torso between your inner thighs and stretch your arms forward. Look down toward the floor and take another breath. And look up toward your hands. So a slightly different entrance into Bakasana. We'll come out for it once, just trying to go through all the actions, and then I'll give you some more tips for this pose. So from here, hook one arm at a time across the fronts of your shins. Lay your palms down well and spread your fingers. Lift your hips up high. Rock your way forward. Claw the floor with your fingertips. Press down into the floor. Puff your spine up between your shoulder blades. And draw your gaze, your chest forward. Either alternate lifting one foot and then the other, or lift both feet up away from the floor. Press down away from the floor. Puff your spine up. Look forward. And then lower your feet all the way back down. Sit down. And widen your knees apart. Come into Baddha Konasana. Interlace your fingers around your toes. Lengthen through your spine. And you can use your outer hip muscles. Think of wrapping in and around. But try to get your knees a little closer to the floor. Give yourself a hip stretch. And while you're doing that, watch. So a couple of tips for success in Bakasana. At least feeling stronger in Bakasana, I should say. Thing one. So we all got, before we talked through hooking the arms, laying the palms down, lifting the hips, rocking the way forward. This is not new, right? Now, we have already talked about clawing the floor with the fingertips. You will do that here. Also, very, very important to press down into the floor and puff your spine between your shoulder blades. These are the things that help you to be strong and to put the brakes on. But if you're just doing that, there's no way you're going to come into the pose and be able to hold. Here's an example. Look at me trying to do that without anything else. I'm working the strength in my arms, I'm working the strength of my abdominal muscles, but I'm still not able to do it. The reason is that my forearms are not fully stacked. They're not a column of strength. The elbows have to be stacked directly over your wrists and able to come into a balancing point in this pose. So here's the key to that. So same thing, hook, place, hips up, forward. Claw the floor with your fingertips, press down, puff up. Now, look at my elbows and what happens when I shift my chest forward and look toward the front edge of my mat. Now my elbows are over my wrists. I can tell they are because I feel more of the weight in my fingertips. And then once I lift my feet up, I'm gonna press down and puff up even more. And then I'll lower my feet back down after some time. Let's give it a go one more time. So from where you are in Baddha Konasana, cross your shins, rock forward, come back into downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Take one more inhale here. On your exhale, walk your hands back to your feet and come into a standing forward bend at the back of your mat. Bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Bend your knees, lower your hips down to your heels. Widen your knees, outer hip width distance apart. And stretch your arms forward. Bring your torso between your inner thighs. Look down toward the floor and take another deep breath. And look up toward your hands. Hook one arm at a time across the fronts of your shins. Lay your palms down well and spread your fingers. Lift your hips up. Rock your weight forward into your hands. Paw the floor with your fingertips. Press down into the floor. Puff your spine between your shoulder blades. Now, take all that and move it forward. Shift your chest forward. Look toward the front edge of your mat until you feel like your weight is in your fingertips. Then lift your feet up. Keep pressing down, puffing up. Keep looking forward. It's going to feel further forward than you're used to, most likely. Okay, keep on breathing. Maybe try one more time. If you came down. And then lower your feet all the way down to the floor. Bring your inner thighs into touch. Bring your heels down to the floor. Heel toe your feet out hip width distance apart. Then tuck your hands underneath your feet one at a time for Padahastasana this time. Bring your toes all the way up to your wrist creases. And inhale, straighten your arms and stretch your chest forward. Exhale, fold down with your legs. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Take one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, straighten your arms and stretch your chest forward. Extract your hands from beneath your feet and crawl your hands back to the top of your mat. Come back into downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Take one more deep inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees and walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down with your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees, come up, Utkatasana. And exhale, stand, Tadasana.